Good evening. Tonight we're at the 16th Annual DC Hope Gala, sponsored by PhRMA, the Pharmaceutical Research and Manufacturers Association. Tonight, Mr. John Brady of Alexandria, Virginia, will be recognized for his passion and commitment to the Juvenile Diabetes Foundation and their quest to find a cure for type 1 diabetes. We expect to see a beautiful reception, silent and live auctions, a wonderful dinner, and the organization's signature Fund a Cure program. Come along with me, Jane Ruby, for the inside look. Tell us how the foundation itself got started. Certainly an amazing cause, but how did it get started?
Yeah, so JDRF was formerly known as the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. It was founded by 3 moms in Philadelphia 46 years ago. And all they knew at the time was that the diabetes that their kids had just had to be different than Uncle Phil's. They didn't know how, but they knew it was different. And they decided to start where they were, just to begin raising money and to see if we could figure out why children were getting this particular kind of diabetes and what the difference was. 46 years later, because of what they started, JDRF is in 100 chapters around the country, 7 countries around the globe. We're the global leader in type 1 diabetes research, and we now know, because of their effort, that there are in fact 2 kinds of diabetes. There's type 2 diabetes, which used to be called adult onset diabetes, and there's type 1, which is an autoimmune disease. They had an intuition that it was different. Turned out they were correct.
No kidding. And we understand that it's actually the childhood or onset type 1 is actually a more severe in some cases?
Most people will say that because in type 1 diabetes, there's an autoimmune attack that kills off all the insulin secreting cells in the body, which means that every type 1 is insulin independent. So that's why most people say it's more severe. Type 2s sometimes be managed with lifestyle, oral medication. Type 1 is on insulin for life, unless or until we find a cure, and that's what this event is about.
Yes, very exciting. What kinds of things can we expect to see tonight?
So we have number one, wonderful auction items. We have a silent auction that people are perusing now. Folks will then process into this gorgeous dining hall. We'll have a program from the stage. We are honoring John Brady, who's the organization's international immediate past chairman. And then a gentleman named Art Walsh. He's getting the Rappaport Lifetime Service Award. Art had a brother who passed away in 2000 from complications of type 1 diabetes, has been running a golf tournament for almost 20 years now, single-handedly raised over $1 million for this cause.
That's amazing. How can folks get more involved with the foundation? I know you have a website, wonderful outreaches.
Appreciate your asking. JDRF.org is easy to get to. That can be a portal for you to start there. This chapter is called the Greater Chesapeake and Potomac chapter. If you live in Maryland, DC, or Northern Virginia, and you go to JDRF.org, look up the Greater Chesapeake and Potomac chapter. My name is Bill Parsons. I'm easy to get to, and we'd welcome any inquiries of interest.
I want to congratulate you, first of all, on the award. How do you feel about it?
You know, it's a little humbling when you get involved with an organization like JDRF, and you know, means so much to our family and so many people. You don't do it to have people say thank you, but it's appreciated.
I wanted to ask you especially how you got involved in the organization.
Well, my oldest son Philip, who's now 28, was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at 3, and we didn't get involved immediately. But then in 2001, I had the opportunity to really make some time, take some time out of my career and do something. There's not a cause more important to our family and to many people than this.
Absolutely. So you've been with the organization how many years?
15 as a volunteer, remain a volunteer. And so I started on the Government Affairs Committee and then just finished 2 years as chair of the International Board.
That's wonderful. How's your son doing, by the way?
He's doing great.
That's awesome.
Doing great. He's here tonight. Awesome. Health is good. He's taking very good care of himself, but it's still a very difficult and challenging disease.
Sure. What do you think is in store for, in the future for type 1?
We're at a very exciting time. Since JDRF's founding, we have invested over $2 million of donor funds in medical research, and as a result, there are 2 life-changing therapies. One we call an artificial pancreas, which connects an insulin pump and a continuous glucose monitor to automatically dose glucose insulin. And we started that project about 11 years ago, and then Medtronic will be shipping the first commercial device in the first quarter of next year.
Awesome.
That's
Was there a
exciting.
second innovation?
There's, yeah, well, a totally different innovation, but really in the long term what we'd like to do to not really cure type 1 diabetes, but to turn it into an easily managed chronic disease with no risk, either long or short term, is to create replacement beta cells that can be protected by a semi-permeable capsule and implanted into people. And they're now the first human trial of that encapsulation replacement cell therapy is underway today. So there's 40 people walking around with replacement beta cells.
That's absolutely amazing. So look at how far the organization
It is, but you know, like it's medical research is very expensive and very risky and takes a long time, so we've been funding that work since 1988.
That's great. Well, congratulations
Thank you
again.
very much.
Enjoy the evening.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for
I
talking
will.
with
Thank
us.
you.
With two very special ambassadors for the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. Tell me your names.
Hi, I'm KIARA Burke.
And
I'm Chase Burke.
I'm so happy to be talking to you guys tonight. Tell us a little bit about what an ambassador does for the foundation.
Well, we do a lot of cool stuff, like we go to galas, we can go to pretty much a lot of places. Sometimes we go to Dave & Buster's once a year to raise money. And we've also done Children's Congress in Washington, D.C. too.
What is Children's Congress like?
Okay, well, Children's Congress is when we go to talk to our representative and our senator, and they pretty much are telling us what they do to support diabetes and what we can have them do to support diabetes. This year, the artificial pancreas came out, and that was just passed by them, so we're really grateful for that. So that's a big deal, and we went last year, and I hope everybody who goes this year loves it as much as we did. It was an amazing experience.
That sounds really fun. Now, both of you are living with type 1 diabetes. What could you say to maybe a young person your age, maybe who just found out that they have type 1?
Well, I could say it's not like a really big deal. Lots of Americans have it, but scientists and all the study is working on finding a cure, and we're coming really close to finding a cure.
That's exciting. What is life like with type 1?
Well,
I mean, you're still doing sports and exciting things with your friends.
Mm-hmm. With type 1 diabetes, it's like a normal life, just besides the finger pricks and getting your pump site or needles done all the time. But I play volleyball, I sing, I go to sing at the national anthem at Ripken Stadium, where both of us are in plays. It's pretty normal, just besides everything else. It's pretty good.
What about sports? Are you involved in sports? I know you want to be a Marine someday, you told me so.
Yeah. Well, I'm not currently involved with sports. I'm in Scouts, and I'm a Weeblo 1. Last year I played soccer, and that's like the only sport I played.
And KIARA, say a few words about maybe what the JDRF has done for you and how it's impacted your life.
Well, when I first got diagnosed with diabetes in the hospital, they gave us a care package. The care package completely impacted my life. After that, we contacted the JDRF, and a couple years later, we were doing walks, coming to the galas. It's just such an amazing group. We love it so much.
And they just got you to be part of them so quickly, right?
Yes,
That's awesome. Chase, what do you think that they've done for people?
Well,
and you?
they gave us a lot of hope. Over the last years, they said it was okay, and
we have went to stores and stuff to raise money, went lots of places to raise money. So we know we are close to finding a cure.
Type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disease that affects millions of people all over the world. In type 1 diabetes, people do not make their own insulin. Now, JDRF is the leading global organization that funds research for type 1 diabetes. We were so very honored to be here tonight. We really enjoyed meeting up with the organizers and some very distinguished guests. Well, on behalf of the entire Inside Look TV team, I'm Jane Ruby. I'll be looking for you next time.